Hi, I'm Katie and welcome to a new hair tutorial. We're going to be using the same Viking braids that we used in the last tutorial, and I'll put the links below to everything that you need. Here you can see I've taken 3 serpent braids, and then once I get those tied off, I take the 3 ends left over and I braid those all the way down as well, because I want this wave going down the entire shaft of hair with no straight pieces. This is all over my head, the Viking braids as normal, and then the back of my head, as you saw, was kind of a mess, because what you do is you braid that whenever you have free time, sitting down, watching YouTube videos, if you're listening to an audiobook, whenever you have free time, probably at the end of the day, you want to have your hair slightly damp or spray it with water afterwards and then put those braids up real quick just to get full coverage of the wave all the way over your head. Doesn't have to look like anything fancy because you're going to bed immediately, sleeping on it and taking it out the next morning. Here you can see I'm taking the braids out, and I would really recommend that you do this with your fingers. Be very careful with your hair. I like to put the clear elastics in when I am doing this because they tend to stretch out really nicely and they're fragile, they break, as opposed to the colored ones, which tend to have a lot more stick to them, which is great when you want a braid to stay in all day. But when you're taking out these tiny braids and you don't want to damage your hair, the clear ones are the way to go. They'll just break right off or slide right off. And the reason I'm using my fingers instead of a brush or a comb is it's so much easier to feel what I'm doing and not create tangles when I don't want to. You can't really feel the tines and the bristles of your brush as you can with your fingers, and you can pull a little too hard and cause tangles. There you could see the type of texture that we're adding to our hair. And now I'm going to do what most people don't want to do. I'm going to brush through the whole thing with a fine brush. The reason I'm doing this is I'm going to create a ton more volume this way, and there will still be enough definition, so don't worry about that. And then don't forget to add in your side parting here. The parting that I had before for the Viking braids is a very extreme panel and doesn't have the soft look that we're going for, where you would have a natural parting to your hairline. Once you have that parting in place, go ahead and brush through the entirety of your head, remembering to start at the bottom and work your way up to not cause any tangles. And here you can see I'm just pulling the hair apart and making sure that I brush through every single piece to get as much volume as possible. Very poofy. Pull your hair off to the side just like this, and we're going to keep it very loose. Notice how my hair is falling over my ear rather than being pulled back. That's the look we're going for, to keep this as loose and romantic as possible. It looks very effortless. Alright, and I am braiding under, so more of the Dutch style. I find that this holds everything into place a lot better. And there's a whole lot of volume here that you're holding in your hands. You don't want to pull it really tight and destroy that volume, because that volume is exactly what we want. So it's going to be a little bit loose, maybe a bit bulky, depending on how much hair you have. I'm going to leave a pretty significant tail here because I want enough hair to pull on to get really good volume. It's going to be very easy to pancake this with as loose as we've made it. Now you can see that little piece sticking out there. That's a lot more hair than I really wanted to stick out, so I could try to tuck it under, but I think instead I'm going to pull apart the braid and start over. It's not that big of a deal because the braid was only 4 links long anyway. So we're going to try again. And it doesn't matter if you start at the bottom or the top, pulling this out. See, a little bit came out again. When that happens, rather than pulling on that outside part, pull on an inner part and try to cover up those pieces that are sticking out. That's another trick. You could try when you rebraid to tuck those ends under by doing a slight twist and getting them towards the center of your braid to try to hold it into place better. But if that doesn't work, this is another technique that I use. Then again, I'm going to secure the end with an elastic. Now these little end pieces, I'm going to reach through, grab them, and tuck them into the hair. There is a lot of texture here in your hair, which is going to work in your favor. If you naturally have curly hair, you know what I mean. You get a lot of good grip there, so you can stick it in and have the rest of the hair hold it there. I want equal amount of volume up on top as I got in my braid to really give the illusion that I naturally have textured hair with a lot of wave to it. Because if you're pulled too tight on the top or is hanging too flat, it doesn't look as realistic. And there you go, there's the finished product. If you want to, you can tuck those loose ends in with a bobby pin. I like to leave them out personally because this is more of a very soft, romantic, relaxed look. Very easy. I hope you love it. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoy this. There will be another hair tutorial coming soon for you.